So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Curry era rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. I think back fondly to this era of Grizzlies basketball. Now, unfortunately, they were never really a contending team in the Western Conference throughout the mid to late 2010s, but they had a lot of fun players. Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, Tony Allen, guys like that who were just really kind of under the radar and really entertaining to watch. Now, this team only won 43 games throughout the 2016-17 season. They did lose in round one to the San Antonio Spurs in 6 games, but the identity with this team is really defense. And if I think I can find this team a little bit more offense, I think we can really push ourselves into the true contention pool. So I'm excited for this one today. Obviously getting to use, Gasol, Conley, Randolph, all those guys. Not something I get to do very often. So looking forward to a hopeful championship for those guys today. Now, as always, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. Always open to different challenges, series, anything you guys may have in those minds of yours. Let me hear it down below in the comment section, and hopefully we can get to it at some point. So, excited for this one today. I know Grizzlies fans were probably killing for a championship in this era, and unfortunately, it just never really got close. So, let's see if we can fix that today. Let's get into it. Now, I have some good news and some bad news right off the rip with this team. The good news is we're not really missing any notable names. Now, JaMychal Green, who was the 5th leading scorer on this team throughout the 2016-17 season, is unfortunately not in 2K, but there's not really any big names that we are missing per se. That being said, there's not a lot of depth with this team, and let's go ahead and just check it out immediately because it jumps out to you that our 8th highest overall is an auto-generated player. So that is certainly something we're going to need to address as we make our way through all the trades before we kick off year one. But let's go ahead and talk about the roster and the guys that are actually with this team. Now, starting out at the point guard spot, Mike Conley, 87 overall, 29 years old, obviously locked up on a long-term deal. Very high percentage chance he is going to be my point guard for the entirety of this video, as long as he doesn't suck or have crazy regression, but I don't expect that to happen. Mo Short, cool name, not a real person, not going to be playing. Heading to the shooting guard spot, Tony Allen, one of my all-time favorite Celtics, by the way, but he's 34, he's a 78 overall. And although I don't know if I'm going to trade Tony Allen or not, that's not really a 3-year reliable option for us at that starting 2-guard spot. Now, Troy Daniels is here. He's 25, certainly going to be one of the bench pieces for me heading into year one because we don't really have a lot of other options. Wayne Davidson, Henry Gibson, I feel like I've heard those names a bunch. We head to the small forward spot. Clearly the biggest position of need as of now. No disrespect to the great Vince Carter, but he's pushing 40, and Father Time, of course, is going to catch up to him eventually. So, this is not a long-term reliable option. It is certainly something we will be looking to, I guess, fix before we head into year one. You got Chandler Parsons behind him, this dreadful contract that I am certainly going to be looking to move on from at some point, but he is here for now. Ron Kelly, cool. The power forward spot, Zebo's 35, and although I still think he's a fine player and certainly could make an impact with this team, I think I'd like to eventually get a little bit of an upgrade there, a little bit younger, maybe a little bit higher overall. We'll see. Daryl Reed, cool. And then finally the center spot, Marc Gasol, 31 years old, 89 overall. I kind of wish he could have won a championship in Memphis. Of course, did go on to win one with the Toronto Raptors, but he's pushing a 90 overall, and while that overall is not going to shoot up as he is 31, he's going to likely be a reliable center option for us the entire video. And then the depth behind him, of course, Luke Cheeks. Fitting name for your overall. All right, we're going to have some trades before we kick off year one. I'll see you guys with those moves. Our first trade of today's video is going to come in a deal with the Utah Jazz. Vince Carter, as we kind of talked about going over the roster, unfortunately just not going to really cut it as our starting small forward. So we're moving him to the Utah Jazz. In return, we're getting 29-year-old Joe Ingles. He's a 77 overall. He's not any sort of star or anything like that. And he is also an expiring contract, but he's maybe somebody I'd be willing to give a little bit of money to this offseason, as Vince Carter is probably not that. So excited to have Joe Ingles here. He's obviously going to provide a little bit more spacing for this team as well. I think that's a pretty good first pickup. I feel bad. I feel like we're kind of abusing the Utah Jazz, but stupid is as stupid does. Now, Zach Randolph is a higher overall than Derek Favors. I'm not getting into a pissing contest between who I think is the better player right now, but ultimately Derek Favors has an extra year on his contract. He is 10 years younger. I think this makes a lot of sense for us just in a long-term picture. So Zach Randolph, Grizzlies legend, call him whatever the hell you want, but I am not in the business of just doing things based off of emotions. I'm trying to do things based off of winning championships. So gonna make another deal here with the Jazz. Again, kind of feel bad, but welcome to the team, Derek Favors. We're kind of at the point of the trades where I'm kind of just grasping at straws. There's not a lot of legitimate, real players that I can actually trade for, and Fortunately, Matt Barnes is one of those guys. So, again, 36 years old, going to be here for one season. But whoever the hell Tyler Murphy and Ricky Jones are, they look nearly identical. Have fun in Sacramento. I'm very, very happy to welcome Matt Barnes to this team. I'm sure you guys know I don't love making moves like this, but considering the lack of depth we have and the lack of actual tradable assets, we are going to be making a free agent signing here and picking up Mario Chalmers. Now, he's 30 years old, he's 6'2", signing him to a 2-year deal to back up Mike Conley is certainly not the end of the world. And again, at least he's a real player. So I'm pretty happy with that signing. And at this point, we have one more move. It is going to be finding ourselves a backup center. If we do not find anybody, it is likely that J.J. Hickson will be coming in here and backing up Marc Gasol. So I'll just take a look real quick with you guys and see if we can, maybe maneuver the trade market a little bit to find at least a real person to back up Gasol. But again, this is kind of what I'm having to deal with right now. And again, I haven't seen one real name yet. So yep, we are going to be going ahead and making one more signing. Let me just release somebody here. Let's release TJ Wallace to free agency. And again, my apologies. Not my favorite thing in the world to do, but again, I don't really have many other options. So JJ Hickson will offer him a quick 2-year deal. Welcome to the team. All right, let's set that rotation. My apologies, I lied to you. I have one more trade. I forgot about Tony Allen, and although Tony Allen, as I mentioned when we were going over the team, absolutely love the guy. He's 34, he's an expiring contract, and we're going to be making a little bit of an upgrade anyways. So, Lou Williams, excited to have him here. He's going to be in the starting lineup for this team. He's not going to be coming off the bench, and I think that is a really beneficial move for this team, just in, again, the long-term picture. That's what we're working with right now. So, I know we're kind of swapping offense for defense, but it's kind of what we need, and just, again, we're trying to win a championship here. We really are. So let's set that rotation. I'm not sure if that's the record for the amount of trades I've made with one of these Curry-era rebuilds before we actually start simming year one, but it feels like it's probably pretty close. And again, I think we did a pretty good job in terms of limiting what we gave up in comparison to what we actually got in return. So I'm pretty happy with this team right now is what I'm really trying to say. It's Mike Conley, Lou Williams, Joe Ingles, Derek Favors, and Marc Gasol as your 1 through 5. Probably not any surprises there. Bench unit, we're going to be having Mario Chalmers run that 6th man spot. Again, I know it's not everybody's favorite thing when I just sign guys out of free agency and, not very exciting, but it just kind of is what it is. You got Hickson behind him, Chandler Parsons, Troy Daniels, and then Matt Barnes. So, my biggest goal heading into this year one was having 10 real players who actually played in the NBA. And I think I'm pretty thankful that we accomplished that. So, David Fizdale, head coach of this Grizzlies team. So we will see what ends up happening with him here in the long term. But as of now, he's our guy. This is our team. And I'll see you guys at the end of year one. Year one has come to an end, and all things considered, I'm pretty happy with the results. Now, we finished with a record of 51-31. Of course, that is an 8-game improvement from what this team actually did in real life, so I'll take it. Russell Westbrook, damn near 37 points a game. Absolutely insane numbers. He's your MVP. Embiid, Sullinger, Giannis, Jokic, Popovich. These, again, are pretty much the same thing throughout year one, every single time. All right, we are in the playoffs. We are a 4 seed, and we're going to be taking on a familiar trade partner in round 1 in the Utah Jazz. They tied us with 51 wins. Here is a look at the Eastern Conference. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the numbers real quick for this team. Again, we made some upgrades, I would say, offensively. Certainly lost a little bit defensively, but I'm pretty happy with the output that I'm seeing here with this group. So only 4 guys in double digits. Rebounds going to be Gasol, assists going to be Conley. So we have the Utah Jazz here in round 1. You got Dante Exum, Alec Burks, Hayward, Zach Randolph, an old friend, Rudy Gobert. You got Joe Johnson. I forgot we traded them Vince Carter as well. So here goes nothing against the Jazz. Now we currently split the first 2 on our home floor. Do win game 3 on the road. Lose game 4. Lose game 5. And we get bounced in 6. Wow, it is a revenge series for Zach Randolph and Vince Carter. So, losing in round 1 of the playoffs, certainly not the worst, result in the world. We definitely have some improvement to be made, but I'll take it. Now, Steph Curry, did I see the Cavs blow a 3-win lead, by the way? Did that happen? I don't know. All right, let's get into player retirements. Happy I moved on from Vince Carter. He ends up calling it a career. I think that probably made the most sense for us. Manu Ginobili going to get his jersey retired. This is all fine and well. And then we'll hit the draft lottery where I'm damn near 100% positive. We didn't trade for any picks or anything like that. So let's sim through it. Celtics, Bucks, Magic, Kings, and then Hornets. Staff signing, of course, David Fizdale as our head coach right now. I think we had a good enough season where he can kind of ride out the final year in his contract. Then we'll maybe make a bigger decision next offseason. So I wouldn't say he was a net negative or anything like that. Let's approach the 2017 draft where we do not have our first round pick. I don't think I traded it, so it must have been previously traded in real life. Of course, we keep those on. So let's see. No, not going to trade into the draft. If I had a second round pick, maybe I'd use it, but no. Clint Adams, Mo Short, enjoy free agency, my friends. I think that's probably going to be it for your NBA contracts. I did not know Joe Ingles had a qualifying offer. That's actually fantastic news for me. And then we will approach free agency here where, again, we're not really going to have any money to play with, unfortunately. I wish we did, but not unfortunately, or unfortunately not going to be the case for us here today. So I do think we have a couple more trades to make. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be blockbusters, but I definitely like to move off of this dreadful Chandler Parsons contract. For whatever reason, the Chicago Bulls are willing to eat basically $25 million in terms of cap space while also giving me 2 future first-round picks. Again, not really sure why, but thank you very much, I guess. Unfortunately, I still don't think we're going to have any cap space. I mean, we're up to like $18.5 million, which is, a nice chunk of change, but it's not going to get me a Steph, KD, Paul, anybody like that. But I think there are a few names out there that we can maybe go ahead and make a play for. James Johnson sitting here, not a terrible option. I think Otto Porter wouldn't be horrendous. I think this would be a decent enough upgrade, maybe at our starting small forward spot, and then maybe we have Ingles come off the bench. So Porter is restricted. He only has his qualifying as of now, but if I throw him like, I don't know, say $13 million annually, do you think they'd match that? They do not. All right, and Joe Ingles, of course, we'll be able to go over for bird rights and bring him back eventually. So Otto Porter, welcome to the team. Again, not a superstar signing, but I think a signing that is going to be beneficial enough. So we're going to offer Joe Ingles, we'll do like $7 million annually, and he ends up picking that option up for us. So welcome to the team. We are, better than we were, I would say, a season ago. I think Porter's going to be a really nice addition to this team on both sides of the ball. We certainly are looking for a new potential backup power forward, but other than that, I think we're just going to kind of let this thing go. Do I consider a Lou Williams trade? That's something I could also think about. Now, I don't think we have to move Lou Will. He's done an ultimately pretty good job for us, but expiring contract heading into his age 31 season. Like Tim Hardaway Jr., who was pretty damn good for the Hawks last year, but Lou Williams was pretty good for us. I'm just trying to think about this logically. I don't want to, put my brain in a mental pretzel trying to figure this out. This is an interesting deal. This is interesting for a plethora of reasons, because not only do we get Drew Holiday, we also get Buddy Hield, who's only 2 overalls lower than that. Actually might be a really good deal, because that would also upgrade our bench. I mean, ultimately, Drew Holiday, probably not really a bench player, but I got to do this. I think I do. I mean, the 2 first-round picks kind of sucks, but Lou Williams is 30, and I don't really know how much money I was going to give him next offseason. So I'm going to take that deal. I don't know if that's a risky move in the long term, but I think Drew Holiday is going to be a really elite 6-man option. He's going to bolster a bench that desperately needs it. So still looking for a new backup power forward. Is it possible that I could maybe trade? Like if I do Chalmers, who now, of course, could be moved, and Hickson, point guard. Ooh, TJ McConnell. And I get Jeremy Grant? That's actually pretty damn good, because I can move Grant to the power forward spot, and I think that pretty much kills 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, what? Let's do this deal here. Thank you very much, 76ers. I don't really need TJ McConnell, but I don't know. We can just have him. Actually, see expiring shit. I should have looked at that. No, he has a team option. All right, so TJ McConnell, or you know what? Here's what I'll do. Let's move Drew Holiday to the 2. Where he stays a similar overall, and then we'll have Hield come off the bench, because that brings the defense back in the starting lineup as well. So we'll have McConnell back up Conley. We're going to have Hield back up Holiday. Troy Daniels can be moved now for either a power forward or a center, and then we'll just sign the other one. Oh, wait, no, I have Jeremy Grant. I'm such a fucking putz. I'm all over the place right now. Let's move Grant to the power forward spot, and then we'll either trade and or sign for a center. Center, definitely right. All right, let me just see. Are there any notable names here in free agency? Ooh, Sullinger actually just won a 6-man of the year. Let's pay Jared Sullinger. Wow, we have made some pretty significant upgrades pretty damn quickly. Troy Daniels, could hold on to him if I have to, if there's a first-round draft pick. Thank you very much, Boston. All right, wow, this escalated quickly, and I think we are really good. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. I'm incredibly pleased with the offseason we just had. It felt like kind of everything just fell into place after a couple of moves, and this team is really good, and we have a lot of really quality depth now. It's going to be Mike Conley, Drew Holiday, Otto Porter, Derek Favors, and Marcus Saul. Bench unit will be led by Joe Ingles. We got Buddy Hield, Jared Sullinger, TJ McConnell, and Jeremy Grant. Not only do we have a 10-man rotation of NBA players, we have a 10-man rotation of quality NBA players. So I think this team can easily be a top 3 seed and hopefully compete for a championship, and let's go do that. What a beautiful second season here in Memphis. 66-16 is the final record. A little chef's kiss for your boy here. I'm very happy right now. I think this team is a very serious threat in this Western Conference. Now, I know there are a lot of powerhouses here, but I think we got a chance. I really do. Russ wins another MVP. Lonzo Ball, Rookie of the Year. Dion Waiters, 6-man of the year. Hey, If you're too young to understand, Dion Waiters was a bucket back in the day. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. DeAndre Jordan, your depoy. Trey Lyles, most improved. David Fizdale, coach of the year. We are the 1 seed. You can see it right there. We're going to be matching up with Minnesota. Here's a look at the full standings real quick. We were 11 games up on the Spurs. Warriors have fallen mightily to a 7 seed. I mean, good God. And we did have the best record in basketball by 2 games. So let's dive into the numbers real quick, see how everybody performed. Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, Otto Porter looking like a fantastic signing. Drew Holiday, Favors, Hield, Sullinger, Ingles, McConnell, and then Grant. Rebounds per game going to be Favors. Assists were going to be led by Conley. All right, Minnesota here. Ricky Rubio, Zach LaVine, Wiggins, Sean Hawkins, whoever the fuck you are. Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Dunn. This is a pretty talented 8 seed. I will say that. They have a lot of really quality players in that starting 5 especially. So I think this is going to be not so much a walk in the park. We're currently up 2-1. Make that 3-1. And we advance in 5 games. We have finally won a playoff series, my friends. Now moving on to the Denver Nuggets. Jokic isn't the MVP he is today, but he is still really good. I do not know why they consistently have Jamal Murray come off the bench, but this is going to be a challenging series. Jokic versus, I almost said Nurkic. Jokic versus Gasol. We lost the first 2 games on our home floor, win the next 2 on the road, win game 5 at home, and then go to game 7, and we win that game 7. 7-game series, not exactly ideal. Us in the Spurs here in the West Finals. Kawhi Leonard is doing a lot of heavy lifting. LaMarcus Aldridge here as well. I think this is going to be a challenge. They definitely have the best player in the series in Kawhi, no doubt. We are up 2-1 right now. Make that 3-1. We're in the finals. We are in the NBA Finals, and we are taking on the Toronto Raptors. They beat LeBron. They signed Zach Randolph. All right, let's see what's going to happen here. It is time, hopefully, for a championship. Quick 2-0 lead. They do win game 3. We win game 4. And as we head back to Memphis, can we close them out on our home floor? I don't want to go back to Toronto because home court advantage does not typically work well for me. All right, this is a close competitive game. We're going back and forth. Pretty low scoring affair, if I do say so myself. We have a 12-point lead with just over 3 minutes to go. Fantastic 4th quarter for us. I'll see you guys in there. Kind of crazy that, I don't want to discredit either, Gasol, Conley, or anybody like that, but it feels like this is one of the few times that we've, won a championship here in 2K without having like a true superstar on your team. Like, again, I don't want to discredit Gasol, Conley, both fantastic players, and I don't know if you'd qualify them as legends in Memphis. You probably would, but they're not superstars, at least at this point of their career anyways. I don't know if they really ever were. Maybe Gasol for a minute, but like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like we don't quite have the star power. But we're still going to be getting a championship nonetheless, barring, an epic choke job. Quick 3 there for Mike Conley and extends it to 15. I was a little nervous about trading away a lot of these guys, that we moved so far, just because a lot of them were defensively, identifiable players. But look at the defense we're putting up right now. 68 points. This isn't 2007. This is the 2018 NBA Finals. So, we're in a pretty fantastic spot for a potential back-to-back, if I do say so myself. Give Mike Conley the ball. All right, let's just real quick call for the ISO. We're not going to spend a ton of time here just because, again, not really close or a real nail biter, if you know what I'm saying. Conley. Oh, my God. Mike Conley is just hitting everything right now. We are up 17. Going to close them out on our home floor here at the FedEx Forum. And let's just see. Can we get one more basket? They're going to work at low post with DeRozan, one of the mid-range gods of the 2010s. Maybe one of the mid-range gods of NBA history, but I think we're pretty much good at this point. Trading baskets is not going to work. We're going to be winning this one, and I'll see you guys with the Finals MVP. What a way to end it, man. We had a fantastic first offseason, and we had a fantastic season here. And Mike Conley. I hope Mike Conley gets a ring at some point. I think, is he technically now the oldest active player without a championship? Because I believe it was Al Horford. I know they were the same draft class up until the Celtics won last year, but I believe Mike Conley might be the oldest, if not one of the oldest active players to not win a championship. But shout out to that 2007 draft class, man. Who the fuck let Paul Pierce go to the Lakers? Oh, good. Oh, don't do that. All right, let's head into the final offseason. Of course, we're at the point where we're not going to be making many other major changes. I mean, we'll probably make 1 or 2, but I don't suspect anything too crazy. Sixers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Celtics, and then Suns. Staff signing. David Fizdale has earned the right to come back and be our head coach. Cannot get a better season out of him than what we just had. So, David Fizdale, we're just going to pay you your money, and welcome back. Okay, let's approach the 2018 NBA draft. I know I've traded a lot of picks. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to be drafting today, which is fine. I like drafting, but we'll get over it. Obviously picked up the team options there on McConnell and Hield. And then, do we have any free agents? Yes, we do. Derek Favors, number 1. Jeremy Grant, number 2. I'm going to pay both these guys, and I'll make one move of some sort. Not going to be anything crazy. We're actually going to bring back an old friend here in Lou Williams. Why? I have no idea. Do I need to make that move? Not really, but I have the money. Might as well spend it. So what I think I'm going to do is move Buddy Hield to the 3, and then if Joe Ingles doesn't go down a ton at the 4, I'll keep him there. If not, we'll just trade for a different 4 and make a slight upgrade. So Hield is going to move to the small forward spot, and then what happens to Ingles at power forward? He goes down to a 76. All right, Joe Ingles has been good for us, and, you know, again, this isn't a move I necessarily have to make, but nobody likes it when I just run it back. That's not exactly very exciting. Actually, they're making like $9 million. I'm sure there's a power forward out there that falls within that salary range that, you know, I can include every other draft pick I have remaining. So let's just see $9.5 million. Dirk, oh my God. I could bring back Randolph. How about Kyle Kuzma? That could be a fun move if I include like Joe Ingles, and then you want Jeremy Grant as well. And then how about just every draft pick I have remaining? Because ultimately I cannot take him with me. So let's go ahead. Yeah, that's a protection backup. Thank you very much. All right, that's going to be it for our final move. We are all set. I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. Had a lot of fun with this team last year. 66 wins, championship. It was just an awesome year all around. Now, this offseason ended up making a few moves. Were they necessary? Probably not, but fuck it. It's going to be Mike Conley, Drew Holiday, Otto Porter. Game actually wants to start Kyle Kuzma. It's fine. It is what it is. And then Gasol, of course, still our center. Bench unit is really good. Buddy Hield going to be my 6th man. You got Derek Favors now sliding into a backup role. Brought back Lou Williams, who is regressing a bit. Not really shocking. Jared Sullinger, and then finally TJ McConnell. So I'm excited. I think there is no doubt in my mind this team has the talent and the depth to go back-to-back. And I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. It is a three-peat for Russell Westbrook in the MVP department. More importantly, we see an improvement from last year by 1 game. Obviously marginal, but, you know, when you're pretty much at the top, there's only so much higher you can go. Now, Trae Young is in New Orleans. He's a Rookie of the Year. Tyreek Evans, 6th Man of the Year in Miami. Draymond, your depoy. Malik Beasley, most improved. And Fizdale, once again, your Coach of the Year. So we're looking to go back-to-back here. I think it is certainly within the realm of possibility, and we're dominant, man. I fucking love this team. I really do. Like, it doesn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just so well balanced. It's beautiful. This is beautiful basketball. Rebound's going to be Gasol, assist Conley. All right, us and the Lakers here, round 1. D'Angelo Russell, Mikal Bridges, Ingram Randall. Oh, my God. Can you imagine, hypothetically, just everybody in the starting 5 in their primes? It's actually a pretty damn good team. Now, I think, you know, Lakers fans probably taking Bron and AD instead, but pretty good. All right, whoa. What the fuck? Well, that was not what I was expecting here. This is, I guess, one of the downsides of, you know, we mentioned it in the gameplay last season when we were winning the finals. This is one of the downsides of maybe not having a true superstar, right? If somebody starts to slump a little bit, it seems like everybody has to start. Like, there's no true guy that can kind of take over a game with this team. So not that there was one of those in Los Angeles either. They had a lot of players that were super young and just not in the prime of their career. But wow, it looked like this team kind of just went to shit pretty damn quickly. What a brutal series out of pretty much everybody. Notable Drew Holiday, just disaster class. Yeah, this was bad. That's not great. All right, well, I'm very thankful we got the championship in year 2. Sacramento Kings and Boogie Cousins end up winning it all. And, yeah, I mean, I've been lying to you if I said I wasn't disappointed. It's always fun to go back-to-back, but, I mean, it's not like I'm not regretting the moves we made last offseason, just in terms of the bench upgrades and obviously bringing in Kuzma as well, because we had an insanely dominant regular season. We won 67 games, so, you know, sometimes guys just shit their pants in the playoffs, and that is, of course, what happened here to us today. And I'm sad about it. I am. But won a championship. I still very much thoroughly enjoyed this rebuild, and I hope you guys did as well. So let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comments section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.